Hey guys, my name is Michael Colley. I'm an aviator based out of Central Jersey. I'm the co-owner of Aero Avion as well with Mike, and I'm out here in Georgia just to visit. Right behind me I have the Mooney M20J that I flew down from Central Jersey. Took me about 4 hours, and it was a really great flight. A little bit about myself. I've been flying since I was 15 years old. I'm 24 now, so about 10 years. Just been an avid aviator looking to maybe build a career out of aviation. I'm not exactly sure where I want to take my career journey yet, but I do know flying as often as I can is the best way to get there. Aviation has been a passion of mine, like I said, since I was very young. The first time I stepped onto an aircraft at 5 years old, told my dad I wanted to fly. So ever since then, I've been just in the simulators. I was a big simulator proponent back in the early days. I was on Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I was on YouTube doing it. I was doing all types of things, machinima content. I was just an avid flight simulator fan until I could get into the cockpit. Once I did at Linden Airport up in New Jersey, I took my first intro flight and I was hooked. And ever since then, I've been kind of building on that journey. Initially, I was flying every other week, and then I built up as I grew older and got into the aviation sphere. I was a lineman when I started high school, and I was a lineman throughout high school at a local airport of mine where I towed, tugged, pushed, pulled planes. And I remember a long time ago, I think this was one of the aircraft that I was serving. And then ever since then, I've kind of just been building. Got my license at 17, 18 years old, around there. And then I recently got my instrument license in September. College was tough because after high school, got my private at the end of high school, mid-high school. Then college was a little bit tough because I had to focus, took a break. Then I got back into flying. And the way that I got into flying, when I got into flying, I wanted to find the most economical way after college to fly, so I got involved into a club. This is not my aircraft, this is a club aircraft. I guess technically you could say that I have fractional ownership, but you know, this is where I pay a monthly fee and I'm able to take the aircraft pretty much Jersey Aero Club on TAC time, which is pretty amazing. It's one of the cheapest and most economical flight clubs in New Jersey, Jersey Aero Club, check it out. But overall, I've had an amazing experience with this aircraft, an amazing aviation journey, and I hope to continue. A lot of people know complex time is the best kind of time that you can have. So I figure, hey, this aircraft is very cheap, very economical. It's a very slippery aircraft in the sky, so it made sense, right? Why not go for the Mooney? Very fast. And I'm out here in Georgia working on my commercial license. As you guys know, 300 nautical miles at 3 points. So I decided to go big and go all the way from New Jersey to Atlanta. And I chose no other aircraft other than the Mooney M20J. So very happy to be here. When I first started flying, I went to Linden Airport, walked in, and my parents, they saw my passion for aviation because I was on the simulators like 24/7, and my parents saw that. So they, scraped together funds so that they could get me into aviation. I'm the only person in my family who's been, involved in aviation. It was just something that was very natural to me. When I got into the plane for the first time, I think a lot of you guys will relate, but when you're coming from flight simulators and going to an actual aircraft, you're like shocked at how big the instruments are. Because on that little screen, you see these small little instruments, but you're never used to it until you actually get into the Cessna and see how large everything is. When I got into the aircraft for the first time, huge instruments, and I was absolutely shocked on my first intro flight. It was an enjoyment. I remember that day so clearly. I went up to 8,000 feet and it was incredible, just the amazing feeling. So then moving forward, I got my license at 17, 18 years old. When I was 15, I started going every other week. That's the most that my parents could do at the time, and then it kind of gradually built up. And then I spread it out over those years from 15 to around 18. I remember it was on the cusp of my birthday. I was trying to get it so hard at 17, but I don't think I made it. But yeah, I got to 18 years old, and then I finally got the license. So it was a unique experience because it was a little bit tough at first, obviously, if you're going every other week to retain those lessons. But over time it got easier, and I got more into it, and I started learning faster, doing work at home, homework, and over the course of many months, it became such a natural feeling. It's almost like riding a bike, I tell people, because you just go up and you do it so often, it feels natural. So yeah, in the real world or outside, I'm an IT consultant in New York City. So that's really my day job. That's what I do, 9 to 5. That helps fund my aviation career. After college, I went into that career, and like I told you, I took a break. I took like a 2-year break, and I did a lot of saving, right? I stayed home, I stayed underground, I stayed and I saved. In addition, I was able to meet a lot of, I was able to do a lot of networking, and I was able to connect with a lot of people and gain a lot of private gigs. So on the side, I do a lot of video work, do a lot of video consulting. At my church, I also work for my parents. My two parents are pastors at a mega church in Plainfield, New Jersey, where we have a whole media suite where I do TV production, things like that, where I get side income from. I also do consulting around the New York, New Jersey area for churches on the weekdays in the nights. Over the years, I was very, I used ingenuity to try and pick up a lot of ways where I could find side income so that I don't only have one source of income. And all of that built up to where I was able to save so that I can fly pretty much daily, which I really enjoy, and it helps me reach my goals of being a professional aviator a lot sooner. I think with aviation and professional aviation, a lot of people egg you on to go to the airlines. And the airlines are very attractive. You start off, of course, you start off from a lower salary, and then over the years you build up. And as long as you stay in that airline and you get tenureship, you should be good, right? You should be set. And for me, I wanted a way that I could also give back to the world, right? I didn't want to go into a career for the rest of my life and just do that over and over and over again. Of course, I'm shooting for the airlines, and that's kind of like the direction, just as a backup plan. But I wanted to do more. In college, I majored in information technology. I had a major in entrepreneurship, and I also had a major in human resources. I did all three because I wanted to get the full spectrum package of what a business would be like, right? Because I knew that in life, one of the main ways where you can get freedom is starting your own business and building something. And I knew that since aviation was my passion, and I was so very passionate about aviation, I wanted to combine both of the two, I started AeroAvion. I looked around the industry and I tried to see where there was a problem, where a pain point was, where I could help improve the lives of aviators. And I saw one of those as aircraft sales. And I started AeroAvion in 2018 with a janky website that I built over the course of 6-7 months. And I got it up and I tried my best, and I built up over time to basically be an alternative to a lot of the bigger sites out there. Because I knew a lot of the bigger sites, they're antiquated, they're old, their business models kind of fluctuated, and it wasn't as easy for aviators to find exactly what they need. And I wanted to build an improved modern interpretation of that. And over the years, I built on it, and I was steady on it to where it is today. Really, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to improve others' lives, but at the same time, improve my life by being able to stay in a field that I'm passionate about and to be able to actually give back versus just going into an aircraft, flying from point A to B. And I thought that entrepreneurship, being able to give back to the community and being in a community that I was really passionate about was the best way to do that. And that's really the journey of AeroAvion. That's the mindset that I had going into it, and I'm really happy where I'm at today. My roadmap for the future and what I hope to happen is that I get to own a plane and be able to give back, right? That's the biggest thing. I think you want to be able to give back to the communities that have helped you along the way. And I'm trying to find the best way to do that. The safe plan is the airlines. That's what I'm heading towards. But my dream is that hopefully I do well privately so that I get to own a complex aircraft kind of like this. I think the main requirements that I need, I want a 6-seater. I want something that has 6 seats or more, that's super economical, that's super slippery, that can get you pretty much out of anywhere. I know this platform is really great, but I've been looking at the Beechcrafts and I've been really interested in those. And I guess you can say if I'm going ultimate, it would be a PC-12. I think one of those would be the most beautiful aircraft. They can land anywhere in my eyes. I see their landing gears can land on grass. I've seen them land on ice and snow and all types. So I think the PC-12 is a beautiful platform. I really like prop aircraft. And again, it's something that I'm super passionate about. I'm hoping that my life ends up in that direction. So that's the plan for the future. For anyone who's stuck in a situation where they're trying to get into aviation and they're really trying their hardest, I'd say the best place to be is to be near and around aircraft, any way that you can, right? I see a lot of people online and on forums, they want to be flying, they want to fly, but maybe whether it's life or maybe it's what they feel comfortable with, they stay at home behind the computer. But what you really have to do is go out to these airports. You have to try and find maybe part-time positions, be around aircraft, be around general aviation, so that you can put yourself in the position to get the opportunity to find great things. I've gotten free flights, I've gotten complex time, I've gotten twin time just by being around the airport and networking. I know a lot of other people, they get job opportunities just by being around the airport. So I think the first thing someone should do is really just get in the environment. No matter how much resources you have, wherever you're at in life, I think just being around a certain environment will push those things into your life, and it works all around.